Now, what I've done, see, this paper is perfect for painting right now. I've distributed the color. Then I noticed I had a center right here, bullseye. I'm going to make my first place, my focal area where the viewer looks first, up here. So I have darkened some of this, laid in some colors, and I'm happy. I put in some areas out here because I know I'm going to want to wait, visual weight down here. I know I can come back and re-wet these later, and I will, but for now, I'm happy with the way this is moving around. I like this pointing up. I like this pointing down. I like that pointing up. And because it's pretty much a diagonal, I don't want the composition. I'm not talking about the subject matter, I'm talking about the composition to drop off this corner. So I'm going to design it so it doesn't go corner to corner. It's going to go off corner to off corner. Yep, I like it. I like it. I'm going to work a little further into all of this. Now, it's so important to remember, while I paused the video, this step took probably 20 minutes. You didn't see it take 20 minutes because that builds up the video too long. And you're too advanced to need to watch that. But you know each step to stop and evaluate and be sure you're still on the path to your destination. We've talked about that. Okay, I'm going to pause again while I work, and then I'll come back to you. what you see now is where I'm building these up, little darker, but not to overwork them. I'm also adding some texture in here, which is also going to be a note to self. Remember, these are round. There will be a very dark area in here because the blueberries have that little punch. And I'm going to need to start building up around. I wasn't sure I was going to like the red violet so much, but the more I use it, the more I like it. I even kind of like these little strokes I've put in, and I may or may not dissolve them. We'll see what happens as we go along. Still aware that right here is going to be a problem. I'm going to have to really work hard in here to get it to be a heavier weight, darker and lighter than here. I can pull some of this out later, but everything I've done so far, I can alter and I can adjust. I'm laying in some of the limbs. Now, you know, I'm not a believer in brown limbs. So what I'm doing is putting some color in here. I will go back later and they will, in the long run, turn out to a pure brown. I don't want to paint them brown. I've worked a little more on it, and I've got some beautiful places and I've got some real problem places. So this continues to be a real problem. I think I'm not going to make a decision now that I'm going to have to break this up into smaller groups. Don't know how small. I need to darken some of this. That's coming along nicely. I've got this leaf just sitting right here. Not sure I like it, but on the other hand, I kind of do. Have this, what initially was a limb coming off here. I've laid in little, I think right up here, I'm to a place where I will want to blow dry it. My shapes are pretty much in there, and get the pink out of here and see what I have. So I'm going to take a minute to do that and remind you that up to now, I've worked probably an hour and a half on this from beginning to end. I've taken out some of the marker, and look how nice that is. Inclined to think finished with that. I can be excited so far. I thought I was going to have to deal with this. I'm not so sure. I kind of like the gaps in here, but what I know I need to do right now for sure, because now I'm excited and I want to go in and pick at it and mess with it, I'm going to stop and I'm going to take a break, and I'm going to take a solid break, like walk off, do something else for a few minutes, and more than a few, and then come back to it. I might even prop it up so that when I walk back into the room with it, I can see what it looks like at first impression. All right, I'll tell you what I think I'm going to do. I put in some light values here. Now, what I'm trying to remember is that in this bunch of blueberry, there is a foreground, midground, and background. Something needs to come forward. I want this to come forward, but not so that it distracts from there. So I'm kind of where I think I might want to let the background take care of some of this negative, leave it white until I decide not to. But I'm not real comfortable with the way I want to do it yet. One, I got an X here, but that'll take care of itself. So this step over. Next step, figure out what I want to do with the background before I do it. In this case, I did not plan the background first because I want the back, well, to a degree, because I know I want it fuzzy. So I'm going to stop here. I'm going to stop here, and we'll pick back up when I've had a chance to think through this painting. So far, hours have gone into it, not necessarily with the brush on the paper, but pondering, thinking, drawing, redrawing, erasing, evaluating, adjusting. It takes time. All right, I'll make a separate video out of the end of this. This is enough. All right.